Good morning. Today is Tuesday, November 3rd. It's Johnsbury Gear Day and a White Cohort Day. A reminder that tomorrow will be a twin day. Thursday will be Throwback Thursday, and Friday will be Flannel Friday. Students, faculty, and staff are all encouraged to bring in non-perishable food items to their advisory locations. The advisory who brings in the most wins a week of Chef B's goodies. The following college virtual visits will take place today: Lincoln Technical Institute, East Windsor at 3 p.m., LaSalle University at 3:30 p.m., and Bishop's University at 6 p.m. A reminder from the Tinker Health Center: Wednesday and Thursday this week will be the flu shot clinic. If your parents have signed you up, you will receive a note from your advisor. Please be on time and please wear a short sleeve or loose-fitting sleeve shirt. Thank you. NHS Campus Committee members. Emma Powers will send you a brief survey designed to help you organize and complete your community service hours. A link to the survey will be in your STJ Labs email. Please complete the survey by the end of the day tomorrow. Do you think the medical mask is the ticket to your tomorrow? Are you a future nurse, psychologist, crime behaviorist, brain surgeon, or just a plain neuroanatomy junkie? Announcing Brain Bee, the science study and competition group concentrating on, you guessed it, how your nervous system grows, connects, functions, and malfunctions. First meetings today, White Cohort, and tomorrow for the Green Cohort, Intruder 241 from 3:30 to 4:30. Email interest to Mr. Eckel at edwin.eckel@stjlabs.com. And happy birthday today to Connor Ladd, Brady Olden, and a special happy birthday to Aidan Marcotte from your advisory. Happy birthdays. Thank you. Have an excellent day.
Thanks, Sierra, and good morning, all. I want to talk a little bit today about being on the front line. Being on the front line is a place where battles can be fought and fates can be decided, a place where there's fear or struggle, and sometimes there can be suffering that occurs. It's also a place where victories are won and friendships are formed through that kind of hardship. It's a place where many have lived with a sense of purpose on the front lines. We all have a front line in our lives, whether it is at school or at work, with our families or on our teams, depending on how you want to look at it. In those cases, all of us encounter sometimes fear. We all struggle. We all have faced some kind of hardship because we all have our own battles to fight in each of our own lives on our front lines. Today, I want to ask you, though, to take a chance to look up. Look up from all that's going on around you, because it's often on the front line that in our lives we might be able to discover that we earn wisdom, create joy, forge friendships, and discover something new to do and something purposeful in our work. Anybody who's on the front lines knows that if you want to win in any kind of meaningful kind of victory, you have to be willing to fight for it. So the question this morning then becomes, what is it that you're willing to fight for? What is it that we need our efforts to be put into to do well? I'm hoping, as you look in your advisories from the left to your right this morning, that you'll see in others an opportunity to find some strength within yourself, a reason to make today a day of wisdom, today a day of joy. Because today we're going to ask all of you and call on all of you to become resilient. Resilience is a virtue. It enables people to be more thorough through their hardship, and it helps them become better despite what they're up against. No one escapes any kind of fear or pain, and sometimes even suffering in life. No one. We've all experienced those things. Yet from pain can come wisdom. From fear can come courage. And sometimes from suffering can come strength, if we have the virtue of resilience within us. I'm reading this great book called Resilience by Eric Gratian. And he says in the book that in order to build resilience, we have to practice it, not haphazardly, but deliberately. The book goes on to say that there are 5 variables that go into training or practice of any kind. It speaks of frequency, intensity, duration, recovery, and reflection. So let's think on those things this morning. Frequency is important because we learn through repetition. Whether we're at practice or we're learning Spanish for the first time, repetition needs to happen in frequent ways in order for our mind and our bodies to adapt to the situation that we're in. Intensity. Intensity you might see in your classroom teachers. Gosh, I hope you see that in your classroom teachers, certainly with our coaches, right? Intensity is important because we only grow when we push ourselves beyond the boundaries of what our past experiences have been. We grow within that intensity. Our classroom teachers push you with that intensity. Your coaches push you with that intensity so that you can grow as a person. The next point was about duration, and it's important that we have duration because we need to train as long as necessary for our minds and our bodies to adapt to the work that we need to do, even when it's hard, even when it's snowing, even when we don't feel like getting up in the morning. Recovery. Runners know a lot about recovery, but recovery is important. It's important for our bodies, it's important for our minds, because we have to adapt to all it is that we've learned. When we sleep after we exercise, we can grow stronger. When we sleep after studying, we can grow smarter. Finally, the writer says that reflection is important because we have to consider our performance against the standards that we've set for ourselves, to adjust ourselves a little bit, to integrate what we've learned into our own lives. Anything you choose to practice, whether it's gratitude, whether it's how much you can bench press, whether you're making your first full course meal in the culinary kitchen, you're going to have to fail from time to time, and that's where resilience comes in. If you aren't failing at something, maybe you aren't pushing yourself enough. I want you to think about how in your world this morning you're on the front lines. We're all struggling, we're all failing at something, but we have to look up and we have to think about what resilience means to us. We've done a lot of hard stuff together. Heck, we've even been able to get to school together in a pandemic and make it work every day. The word no has been constant in our worlds, and yet we've been resilient and pushed through what's happened. This week, we're going to ask you to continue to be resilient together. We're also going to ask you to have some fun together. We have an opportunity, right? We have an opportunity to dress up tomorrow. We have an opportunity to be together. We have an opportunity to look up and enjoy one another, to not always look at the struggle that we have with one another, but also to look at the fun. Let's help each other find some direction. Let's help each other find some joy. And let's choose to take on each day with a vision and a belief in the power of people, the people who are around us each and every day. Because there are people around us who choose not to live their life in their present life, in that moment, in this moment, in that time. As if we're kind of preparing ourselves for whatever is next, whatever is going to be the next best thing. But not necessarily this one. So while we do this, the time is going on and much is lost by wishing that something different and more meaningful was happening. So this morning, I'm going to urge you to look up. This morning, I'm going to follow up on what it is that Mr. E. Rain spoke about and what you've heard about. Today's election day. We can have lots of mixed emotions about today, but today I want us to look up. I want us to be resilient. I want us to come together. Hopefully you're all wearing your Academy green and white, and we can do this together as a community. But it's important for us to be resilient and always find the good in one another. Have a great day.